Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we're going to talk about Antlers, a horror movie that pits the Wendigo as a metaphor for domestic abuse.
You want to get sad.
You want to get real sad.
You want to just get real good and depressed. You want to really feel hopeless. Antlers is the solution for you. It will fucking do that. This is one of the most depressing movies I've seen in a long time.
And definitely one of the most depressing I've seen this year, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean that in all the best ways possible.
In a good way, but you definitely find yourself going, well, I guess that's just it then.
Yeah. What I like about this movie, though, is that even though it 100% goes with this, Wendigo as metaphor for domestic abuse, like I alluded to earlier, it's actually a very layered movie. There's a lot of things going on here, because basically this movie is about this boy whose dad has been he's contracted a Wendigo. He's got a Wendigo inside him, and the Wendigo is slowly taking over, and so the kid has to take care of his dad and try to hide this from the school and the rest of the town, and also protect the town from his dad because he's turning into Wendigo.
He's eating people, man.
He's craving flesh. But the reason why the dad ends up getting the Wendigo is because the dad was a meth dealer.
His dad is cooking meth in an old mine. That's been abandoned.
And he used to be a miner before he started cooking meth, but the mines got shut down. But there's so many good layers here because okay, so you have the economic level of this town, of the setting of this town, where it is an old mining town. The mining industry is starting to collapse and fall apart, so everyone's kind of out of work and lost, and the town is starting to fall apart as a result of that. Not just, metaphorically falling apart, it's also literally falling apart because no one has got any money.
It's set in very thoroughly in Oregon.
Yes. So you have this economically this Oregon town on an economic downturn. You also have the fact that the mines themselves have pissed off the native spirits of the land. Which has awakened things like this Wendigo. So it's a good thing the mines are shut down because otherwise more of these would be around. But at the same time, it being shut down is causing economic turmoil within the town. So it's got this nice little complicated
there's definitely this feeling where you're all of the fucking economic depression is a result of the mine. And it's the centerpiece of the trauma. Because it's where all those roads lead. Why is the dad out of work? Because the mine's shut down. Why is there a huge rift between the native population and the white people? Because the mine exists in the first place.
Why did the dad start selling meth? Because the mine shut down and people were out of work, and all they had was to either turn to something like selling meth or taking meth. To drown away their sorrows. This is a great movie that, even though it's got a very specific metaphor at the center of it, it's also got this just really great systemic look at this particular issue, for lack of a better word.
At towns that relied on one industry for everything, and then they just took up stakes and left.
And pointing out how messed up and complicated it is, because without the mine, the town is fucked right now. But with the mine, it kind of fucks up the land. And
everything's it's fucked no matter what happens.
Absolutely.
And that is a running theme. Throughout this movie. So get ready to get sad.
But all that is also what leads to why is the dad a abuser? And he was kind of an abuser before the Wendigo got into him, to be honest. Well, it's because of the economic devastation and everything that has wrought upon the dad. And so
he could have stepped off that precipice, but now he can't.
Exactly. And I just man, it's dark and fucking depressing, but man, is it good.
Well, oh man, it especially gets dark when you see near the end of the movie, they actually go into like the father's transformation into the Wendigo, and you're just watching this guy, and now you feel sorry for him because he's trying to protect his kids from the thing he's becoming that he can't fucking stop.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those like can't even kill himself.
Which is true with some like especially drunks.
Yeah.
It's true that like you'll have like the version of the drunk dad who's not drunk and loves his kid and actually wants to like help him protect him, but he can't stop drinking. And then once he drinks, he becomes
this creature, you know, this other thing.
So like it's a really, really great fucked up metaphor, you know, even down to the fact that like, Wendigos, once they leave their bodies, they will transfer themselves onto someone else. So there is always this risk that dad is going to spread the disease.
Yeah.
Much like
Wendigo spreads.
Much like abuse trauma can beget more abuse.
Yep.
Not that like every victim of abuse becomes abusers themselves. Sometimes it's not even intentionally. Sometimes it's just the things that you develop, the coping mechanisms you develop to deal with your own trauma can be abusive to the people around you. You know, like especially if you haven't developed any good ones and you've only developed the bad ones because you've been stuck in the abusive environment for so long. That's all you know how to react. A great example of that being a war vet with PTSD. A war vet with PTSD, their trauma was caused by war.
The war, yeah.
And stuff like that. And I'm sure if that they can't help it if the war flashback causes them to punch someone in the face, know. But
it's
that in
really
of itself,
hard to fucking deal with that.
But that in of itself is inflicting abuse onto someone else,
Yep.
That's a great example of how it can happen. And this movie goes into all those layers while also being just a great monster movie.
Yeah, you do eventually get some like really good shots of the monster.
Oh yeah,
really cool.
That does lead into like my one minor criticism of the movie is that later on in the movie, the Wendigo is amazing. Like they do this nice mix of practical and CGI and stuff, but a lot of the shots early on in the movie, they almost exclusively use CGI.
Yeah.
And it feels like the movie didn't quite have the budget to pull off some of the early shots. And I felt bad because the movie's so good otherwise.
Yeah. There's some times when like the monster effect isn't working that well in the beginning.
But I appreciated that when it came to like okay, we're now at the end.
This is the climax.
We're at the climax, final confrontation with the Wendigo. We're getting a full fucking wide shot of this goddamn thing. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it looks great. Yeah.
Some of the little shots where you just see like an arm or a leg or a horn or whatever early on in the movie, some of those look like a little too CG. But the ones at the end, that works.
Yeah, in particular the thing with its face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So like even though I have some CGI problems with this movie, I'm glad that the money shots work.
Yeah, they all work. All work, and like it's. Oh my god! All right, look. We better say this now. Yeah, dead animals in this one. Okay?
Yeah, there's
dead
animals.
A lot of dead animals in this.
There's dead animals in this because one of the ways the son feeds the dad when he's got the Wendigo in him is he picks up roadkill and shit like that.
Yeah, he picks up roadkill. Sometimes
sets up traps.
Sometimes he kills it.
So be warned about that.
Yeah, I don't think you watch too many of the animals die, but you definitely see their corpses.
Also, obvious warnings if it's not clear yet. Domestic abuse.
Particularly childhood domestic abuse.
Yeah, it's all over this movie. Like
CPTSD is all over this.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because like here's the thing: we haven't even talked about the main character,
and we'll get more into that when we get to the spoiler section because I want to leave something to be in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
But all the stuff with the Wendigo, I felt free talking about because that's the stuff I'm pretty sure most people knew this is a Wendigo movie because I think they even say it in one of the trailers.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said it is Wendigo. Oh, by the way, for you character actor hounds out there, Graham Greene's in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he plays an Indian.
Yeah, he's great in this movie. Also, for all you Breaking Bad fans out there, if you remember the awkward neo-Nazi at the end of like season 5 of Breaking Bad, he's in this movie as a completely different character. Yeah. as this actual like you actually really like him as the main character's sheriff brother.
Yeah.
You actually kind of like him, even though like he's wrong about a lot of things.
Yeah, like he's wrong. It's like, how to put it? You're like, he's not a bad guy. He's just wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
pretty much. So with that said, we're probably going to move into the spoiler section. But like, let me just say this right here. This is one of my favorite movies of the year. It's great. It's fantastic. It's so good that even my minor complaint about some of the CGI is not even really a complaint because I only care so much about that.
Yeah,
like, you know?
yeah. The rest of the story is so good you don't care that like it's a little wonky, right?
Yeah.
You know,
and it's okay. Like they do the Jaws thing where you see like bits and pieces.
Yeah. During that period of time, like less is more.
You know, so like the fact that like that kind of makes it work a little bit better, even if the CGI is a little weird. I love the sound design. Like the creature noises is like it sounds familiar enough to like sound animalistic, but weird enough to almost feel like a banshee. Like
yeah. It's like part wolf, part bird. You know,
It's it's an iconic noise, and it got to the point where every time you hear it as the movie goes on, I started getting chills.
Yeah. You start getting a little more upset because you know what it means.
It reminds me of being a kid and watching that that Sean Connery movie with the banshee.
Darby O'Gill.
It reminds me of when I was a little kid watching that because the fucking banshee always freaked me out as a kid.
Oh man, that was one of my favorite parts of that movie.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah,
of that, like being a little kid and being freaked out by that. So, sound designers, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Now here's the interesting thing. I do not know when I'm going to put this vlog up, so it's entirely possible that when I put this vlog up, this movie's not going to be available to watch yet. But it is going streaming on the date I will put right here because it's now escaping me, but I know it's this week. It's coming out onto streaming this week. And coming out onto Blu-ray next month. But trust me, once it hits streaming, if it already is streaming, you should rent this movie and watch it yourself because it is phenomenal.
Yeah, and this is also a Guillermo del Toro produced joint.
Yeah.
And
it continues the themes of Guillermo del Toro's filmography in general, whether it be movies he directed or produced.
Yeah.
Because whether it be Devil's Backbone, whether it be Pan's Labyrinth,
The Orphanage,
Mama,
yeah,
the continuation of childhood trauma, in a fantasy narrative, this movie's 100% in those veins. And personally, I think this is up there with some of the best ones there. So.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like of the movies that you mentioned, the lowest one on the list is Mama. Yeah,
absolutely. I think it's better than Mama.
Oh, it's way better
for sure.
Yeah,
you know. So if you like any of those movies, you're gonna dig this movie. And with that said, my fellow Gorehounds, time for the spoilers.
Okay, so the main character is actually a woman who used to live in the town, moved to California, and has now moved back for one reason or another.
Yep.
And it is very clear very quickly that she was being sexually molested by her father.
Yeah.
You know,
and physically abused.
Oh, very physically.
Not even just molested, but also beaten. Like she's talking about her broken arm and stuff. So she got like the worst of anything.
Yeah, and like the brother got it bad too, but she got it worse.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's very obvious that she was the main punching bag, and the brother probably became more of a punching bag
when she left.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily get the impression that he was sexually abused.
Yeah.
Even though they do have that one conversation where it's like, you don't know what he did to me. You know?
Yeah.
So it's possible, but like you can also tell that he's got some trauma too. Like his that scene, that really subtle scene, really early on, where he's like upset that the things aren't where he left them.
Yeah.
Like you can really tell that like he's struggling to like keep order in his life, and that's part of him being a sheriff.
Yeah.
Is maintaining order because that's the only way he knows to deal with his trauma.
Yeah.
You know?
It's how he deals or avoids it.
Which is also why he struggles with like the weirdness when it starts to become like clear that a Wendigo is killing people, because it's disrupting the order. So he's the last one to admit it. You know? You know, and he's really well done, and the main character, like, she's really well done too. Like her whole like, I was abused, so I must figure out if this kid's being abused.
Yeah, I got to figure out if this kid is
because for most of the movie, she just thinks that the dad's just abusing him.
Yeah,
You know, she doesn't realize the worst of it until we get.
Yeah, she doesn't go. Clearly, it's a Wendigo. Like, no, of course not.
It isn't until she eventually, like, through her process of elimination and through her little quest, and talking with the native character played by
Greene, who was the old sheriff,
and talking with him, that she realizes that no, this is a spirit. This is a thing. It has taken over the dad, and it will eat flesh, and the only way to kill it is to extinguish its heart. And
even that will only force it to look for someone else.
It will find a new host, which... Whoa, there's a spoiler.
Yeah.
So, what are the elements of this movie that, like, really drives its abuse metaphor home is the fact that the dad and the character's brother are also infected by the Wendigo.
Yeah.
They're both turning into Wendigos. And the moment they kill the dad, the brother starts fully turning into a Wendigo.
Yeah.
So the abuse transfers from one to the other, now that the original abuser's gone.
Yep.
You know, which is kind of like the way it happens. You know? Like,
cycle of abuse.
Sometimes your more abusive behaviors don't start manifesting until you're alone and you're left with yourself.
Yeah.
And your coping mechanisms, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, you get this really dark fucking sequence where they have to put down the brother.
You have to put down a kid.
And again, much like when we were talking about My Heart Can't Stop.
Yeah, my heart doesn't beat unless you kill it. Yeah.
But, much like when we were talking about that movie, normally in these movies I go like, no, you can't do that. He's got so much to live for. But in this instance, I'm like, you have no other choice here.
Yeah.
You know, that's the one thing where, like, the metaphor kind of breaks a little bit, because, like, obviously in real life, you would want to do everything in your power to help kid grow up and manage his abuse. But with Wendigo spirit, you can't really do that.
Yeah, you can't really do that. Like, and he is he's turning into a Wendigo before their eyes.
Yeah. So the movie ends up ending on this really dark note after they put down the brother, to where the Wendigo spirit has obviously transferred, but is it in the boy, or has it transferred to the sheriff?
To the main character's younger brother.
You know,
yeah, and
would
it go from one to the other if you got rid of them? And is there any end to this?
Because the cycle keeps going on and on.
And the whole fucking message of the film, it's a big exploration as to why people do not leave abusive situations.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's throughout this entire movie.
One of the most fucked up realizations I had while watching the movie was the realization, I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah, you're helping this boy. And if you weren't there, this boy would just been fucked. Like he probably would have been
no chance whatsoever.
Either eaten by his dad or turned into a Wendigo by this point, had you not intervened and tried to, like, help him. So the boy's in a slightly better place than he started off with because of you. But at the same time, you shouldn't have come back.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to come back because you wanted to see your brother and you wanted to make sure your brother's okay and you wanted to try to, like, help fix the town while it's at its lowest and all that stuff. But you should have stayed in California.
Yeah.
Because this was not good for you.
Yeah, this is not good for you. This is hell.
Yeah.
You know, this is hell. You're not. Yeah. You can't help anybody if you're in hell.
Because one of the things that I think becomes very clear watching this movie is that if you take the mine, for example, the damage is already done.
Yeah, exactly.
In terms of the environment, the mine's already destroyed it.
Yep.
And because the mine's already destroyed it, the spirits are pissed and you're not going to be able to appease them again.
Yeah. They ain't interested in listening to your shit.
You know, you've already fucked it up. In terms of the town, that industry ain't coming back.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to turn back to coal anytime soon. You know?
Nope.
That damage is done.
Yep.
You know, it's either get out of the town, find a new place, or figure out something else.
Die there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's very telling that there is a song that he's used throughout this movie called Leaving Oregon.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not Leaving Oregon. It's Leave Oregon.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like, well, that was pointed.
You know, and that's a theme. The damage is already done.
Yeah, damage is done. Yeah.
You know, like it's like they tried, like the son trying to save his dad. Damage is already done.
Yeah, he's already lost.
You know.
You know.
Same thing with the little brother. damage is already done. You know, and then you get to the end of the movie and you're like, for all three of these characters, damage might
might be too late for all of them at this point. You know,
like they're in hell.
Yeah.
Like, it might seem like things are getting a little better, but they are in hell.
Yeah.
And it's dark and bleak, but I get it.
Yeah. That's what I mean by get ready to get sad.
Yeah.
Get real depressed.
You know, and it's saying a lot that we like just vlogged 2 other movies about familiar dysfunction and domestic abuse and like
and suicide
and overbearing families, but this one devastated me the most.
Well, yeah, because like it's abandon hope, all ye who enter.
Yeah,
you know, you
are in hell.
Yeah, you're in hell. Like, don't hold on to hope. That shit not gonna help you.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I hope things will get better. Bullshit, not getting better. Leave. You know, leave. That's not that. Oh, over the bridge of the river Styx. That's not a warning. That's advice.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. But damn, if it ain't like one of the best movies of the year.
Oh,
like,
it's really good.
God damn, I'm gonna have to readjust. I made on Letterboxd. I put together what my top 10 movies of the year were.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to rearrange it because I'm gonna have to make room for this thing.
Well, yeah, I remember when you were making that. You're like, look, I don't think I'm gonna. I'm just gonna do my end of the year now because I don't think we're gonna see another movie that's gonna like fucking rank up in this.
I said that, but I was also like, when I posted it, I also made it clear that it's possible it might change or rearrange by the end of the year.
Yeah,
when the actual end of the year, because I was aware that there's a couple movies that a bunch of movies I had not seen yet, and there was a couple that I couldn't see yet.
Right.
You know, like Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to see that for a while.
You know, I think I'm going to sneak and try to see like an early screening next week, like on a weekday.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to see if I'm going to sneak in and try to see it because I think because everyone's obsessed with Spider-Man right now,
I might be able to get in.
Yeah, and avoid a crowd.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I might do that just to see Nightmare Alley because, I mean, while we're on the topic of Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah.
He's got a movie out this month, which is a film noir thriller movie. Maybe not a horror movie, but I don't care. I want to see it.
Well, like, I can't believe there's not going to be any supernatural
it's Del Toro.
element to this.
Well, it is a remake of a movie that doesn't have supernatural elements, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. If nothing else, it's Del Toro, so even his version of a thriller is probably very...
Yeah.
I mean, his romance movie had horror elements, you know?
Yeah.
You know, there's a fucking creature of a Black Lagoon monster there, you know?
Yeah, that big fish man.
You know, like his action movies have horror elements, whether it be the kaiju kind, whether it be Blade 2, whether it be Hellboy.
Yeah.
So, like, he puts horror elements in everything. So, you know what? I want to see his film noir.
Oh, so what you're saying is my Carnival of Souls this one.
Yeah, entirely possible.
Okay.
We'll see it. I mean, it's Del Toro doing film noir. I got to see it, you know?
Fair.
Anyway, I love Antlers. This movie is great. Anything else we want to say?
Oh, geez, no. Like, I don't know what to say other than the movie is fantastic.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. You know, like what scenes it has are purely budgetary. You know, it's obvious the movie did not have the budget to like fully do the CGI the way they do towards the end of the movie.
Yeah, so they pick their battles.
It's also obvious that towards the end of the movie, there's a lot more practical mixed in with the CG, which probably helps.
Yeah.
But the end of the movie is fucking phenomenal. The fucking climax. Yeah. Man, when they reveal the full Wendigo, I'm like, that is an awesome design. Like, oh my God. Between this, The Ritual, and Not Everyone Makes It Out Alive, I think it was called, or No One Makes It Out Alive.
No One Makes It Out Alive.
Yeah. Oh, No One Gets Out Alive.
No One Gets Out Alive. The one with the obsidian butterfly.
Yeah, between these three movies, talk about awesome monster designs lately.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Monster designs that live up to them being like these elder deities, right? You know?
Yeah.
These creatures, these spirits.
Yeah. Like you really do. Like, yeah, you could basically... Yeah, you could take Antlers and make it about Ithaqua, and it would fucking just be perfectly.
Sure. Absolutely. And I would totally watch an Antlers 2, even though I don't think they teased it because they were planning to make a sequel. But I would totally watch an Antlers 2. I just don't know what that would be. Yeah. You know? Antlers 2. Antlers is...
Electric Boogaloo.
Antlers 2.
Antlers 2. He has a breakdancing career. You know?
Antlers 2. This time it's horny.
Oh.
And with that, my fellow gorehounds, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
You can find me on Twitch at Count_Jackula at twitch.tv, where I stream. I stream most often on Thursdays and Sundays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but I do stream during the week. You should follow me on Twitter at CountingJack if you want to be updated whenever I go live. And you probably will also want to follow me at Satanic Jackula on Instagram. Get your grams in, get your tweets in, watch me on the Twitch. Woo.
Is it just me? Does Instagram sound like an oatmeal brand?
It kind of does.
Like Insta brand or
Instagram. Nothing is better for these than me. You know? Nothing is worse for your self-image than me. Yeah.
Y'all know me. I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you would like to help out either of us more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon pages. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And I kind of want to use hashtag #GetSad.
Hashtag #GetSad.
If you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below. And be sure to comment below using the hashtag #GetSad. That way I know, that way Jack knows, and that way the whole world knows you watched this vlog all the way through, and you're just as depressed as the rest of us.
Yep.
And with that said, my fellow gorehounds, those are the 3 vlogs we recorded this week. So peace out. And I'll catch y'all later.
Yeah, the trilogy of fuck your family movies.
Yeah.
Fuck your family, move out. You know,
Yep.
like that was Antlers, Blazing World, and fucking My Heart Only Beats When You Tell It To.
Yeah.
Or My Heart, yeah, but that one.
Yeah.
You know, all basically.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Yeah, it's like, no, ditch your family. Fuck this. It's bullshit.
Yep. Perfect for the holidays.
Perfect for the holidays. Absolutely. You know, like if you're at one of those, like, just remember when you're at one of those, like, nightmare family gatherings and Uncle Bob is, like, going off about what he thinks about Black Lives Matter or whatever the fuck is happening. You know, and you're just like, you know what? If you can leave, remember that.
Remember, you can leave.
You could leave. You know,
they're family pictures.
It's family pictures for the family. Oh yeah, no man, put this one on at Christmas.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
There you go. And then follow it all up with Krampus.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.